I just finished posting about feature mapping and feature slicing, story mapping and story slicing, and I have to say I'm so proud of my teams. Currently, we slice our work by expertise, API, UI, QA. Some of the challenges we're having doing it that way is that the work for API will be there, but not UI, or UI will be there, but not API. The UI development work will be completed, but it is not functioning without the API work. Sometimes those stories related to the same thing are under completely different epics or features. So we always talk about swarming, being able to have smaller, manageable pieces that API, UI, and quality are all looped in together, and to be able to swarm around that, work on it, and get it done. So I facilitated a session with a few of my teammates that represent each of those areas, and they are on the same team, so they already know each other. Before the workshop, the business analyst and I met and we picked out 2 potential features or epics that we could utilize for the purpose of our experiment. Once we got into the session, the teams then talked about each of these options and which one would be the best fit for our purpose. One of the options was already in progress and it didn't include API, so they felt like that wouldn't make sense to be able to practice swarming on API, UI, and QA. The second example had not been started yet, and it does include all 3 of those areas, so that's the one the team decided to use for the purpose of our experiment. Then we pulled up that feature and we reviewed it just like we would in a backlog refinement session, and the team talked about it. Right away, we noticed there were things in the feature that were no longer relevant, so we were able to strike through those. Once we got the feature refined to what we knew was valid, we then broke it down into 3 different ways that we could slice this feature. All that would accomplish the same goal, but which one would be the most efficient? Option 1 ended up having 3 user stories, option 2 had 2 user stories, and option 3 had it all within 1 user story. Through discussions, we decided that this was actually probably going to be a large effort, so putting it all in 1 user story just didn't make sense. Then they talked about these other 2 options, and they chose option 1 that, from the discussion, made more sense. And picked one of the user stories and started talking about it, what we would need to accomplish this. A perfect example of what healthy feature and story refinement look like considering slicing and mapping.